So I've lived through many eras of Pokemon hype, and Ascended Heroes is really worrying me at the minute as a collector. Let's talk about that. In this video, I'm going to talk about some cards I think you should pick up that are kind of getting slept on. There's going to be talk about whether Ascended Heroes will have a drop, and we'll be also comparing it to previous marketing trends within Pokemon to see if there's any data there that suggests us collectors might have a little bit of respite from the constant scalping and lack of product. Let's get into it. So I want to take you all the way back to 2024 and Pokemon 151. Now, I've been buying Pokemon for a long time, as I'm sure many of you have. Some of you might have got into it later. If you didn't realise, back then, when 151 came out, Smith's or the UK toy stores, I'm sure it was the same in the States if you're watching in America, 151 ETBs were readily available. They were on shelves, 151 poster collections, booster bundles, they were all there. And price charting shows that. January, we were looking at $50, May, $52, all the way to September where it had gone up to $81, but August was still sitting at about $60. So you had from January of 2024 all the way through till August before we even started to see a price bump on 151 ETBs. This is the last special set we saw before it started going absolutely crazy. 151's pricing still doesn't make sense to me because the Charizard is the biggest hit. I don't think it's that good of a Charizard. It's obviously subjective, but also the price of sealed on 151 at the minute, there's no chasers that justify the sealed price, which is why I think we will see some sort of crash in sealed pricing at some point, but then it'll rise again because what will happen is the singles will match the value and there will be a big chase. That Charizard might be worth a lot of money and then the cycle repeats itself. If you actually want a tip from 151, I think everything but the Charizard, the Pikachu, the Charmander, the Bulbasaur, the Squirtle, they're the ones to get if you've not got them already. The first time I started to have trouble as a collector was Prismatic Evolutions. I am pretty on it. I've always been speaking with toy store staff saying, hey, when are you getting this in? I never really had to queue for it. I never really had to pre-order it. I'd be there. They said, oh yeah, we're getting it in then. We'll have loads. Come and get it. Prismatic Evolutions was the first time that I saw people in the UK going and just buying up all the stock, and the scalping in the UK really started. I know in the US, 151, we saw those Costco fights and things like that. In the UK, we mainly started seeing scalping begin at a big scale in Prismatic Evolutions. This set made more sense to me because there were multiple Eevee chasers and you had a reference of Evolving Skies with big evolutions doing really well. So there was precedent for it. This one was always going to be tricky to get, but it sort of gave us a signifier of the future of special sets in Pokemon. So in March 2025, this was about $131. The thing that we're seeing that we're not seeing in Ascended, which is what I'm going to really focus on in a minute, is this little dip here. In May 2025 and July 2025, it dipped to about 100, which is not a lot, but there was a dip after the initial scalping of Prismatic Evolutions ETBs. We're not seeing that with Ascended yet. And of course, it makes sense in Prismatic because you've got all these hits worth many pounds, dollars, whatever. We are now 2 months into the Ascended Heroes ETBs and look at how straight that line is compared to all the other special sets we've seen so far. It started at about $120. In the UK, you could buy ETBs for about £70, which is £20 over retail. It was 70 to 80, so it was still bad over here. March, we had the little dip, which is what I'm concerned about. I have been very heavily focused on Ascended Heroes and looking at the patterns. And I was like, oh, last month I was seeing a slight dip. Singles dropped. The Gengar was down to 600 quid. I was thinking, and I said to some of you guys that watch this channel, this could be a precedent of this is actually the bottom. I really hope it isn't, but this could be the floor on Ascended Heroes pricing, depending on how much Pokemon commit to reprinting the set. So we saw the ETB go to $118 in March, and now as of April, it's back to $128. It's back on the rise. In the UK now, we are seeing the regular ETB sell for about £100, double recommended retail price Yeah, this set's concerning me. The curve on that Gengar is absolutely atrocious. It's over $1,000 and it's reaching £1,000 in the UK, the price on Mega Gengar, and it's just gone up. Had that slight dip where it was about six. In America, it seems to have just kept going, by the way. If you look at that, it kept going in America. In the UK, we had a little dip, quite a significant dip. It went from 800 quid here to 600 quid. That's a £200 difference in March, but now it's back. It's at £900 in the UK at the minute and over $1,000 in. And it's because of Ascended Heroes pull rates and the fact that we've had the ETBs and the poster collections. These are the items where we're meant to be getting the most packs, and we've still not got the supply. Forest Pikachu, again, that was the cheapest it was when it came out at $495, and it's continued to rise. Dragonite SIR has just steadily climbed. That one's never dipped. Even in the UK, it's just kept going because I've been watching this one because I really like this card. Even illustration rares, they had a dip. So Psyduck started at around $60, went up to about $80. In the UK, it went about the same. It started at $80, came down to $60. I believe it's at $40 at the minute. So if you can pick it up, it's starting to rise again on eBay. If you want this card, go and get it. That's the first tip. This one might drop, in fairness, but I don't trust this set. I don't trust this set with Pokemon's lack of statements, lack of talk about product availability, and just lack of distribution to anybody but scalpers, because people will queue outside the superstores and just sweep them out and scalp the product. We haven't had the booster bundles of Ascended Heroes yet, but my takeaway from this set is people are looking at 151's pricing now, and I can imagine that people will be trying to sell booster bundles of Ascended Heroes for about $100. I reckon it's going to go there. It's going to get scalped. Us fans are going to struggle to get our hands on booster bundles, which is why I think the singles market might be the way for you. I'm going to give you my summary on what I think Ascended Heroes is going to do long-term at the end of this video. But let's look at some pickups that I think you should pull the trigger on now, just in case we don't have a drop and things don't balance out in Ascended Heroes. I can't recommend you buy the big hits. If I'm going to go towards a big hit, I'd potentially say, do you like gold cards? Charizard is sitting around that 350 to 400 mark in the UK at the minute. It grades at over £2,000 in a 10 because they're really hard to grade. If you like the gold cards like I do, probably pick it up, because I actually think there's a lot of influencers out there and traders at card shows and stuff that go, oh yeah, the golds, they're just not good. They're not good. It's because so many people haven't held them in person. The way they catch the light, the fact that they look amazing, they're so much better than the old gold cards. And if you like them, get one. Just try one. Just find one in a shop, hold it and say, do you like this card? Because I'm having to convince myself all the time not to buy out every gold card I see, because I really, really like the new gold cards in Pokemon. And I actually think, given their rarity, they are mega hyper rares. They are rarer than Gengar SIR, technically, in terms of rarity. Technically, they're probably about as rare if you're pulling an MHR than specifically getting a Gengar SIR. If you think about how many SIRs there are in a set, that's a different conversation. But in terms of actual rarity of the set, they're the rarest card you can get. So I can't see this. This might bottom out to about that 279 that we see in the sales history there. But yeah, I'd have this in my collection, and if it lost 100 quid, I wouldn't be crying over it, because in 5 years, I think I'd be looking back on this laughing. I'm not a massive fan of Mega Charizard Y though, so I'm not putting my money here. Where I might do is a card that's been slept on at the minute. I really like Dragonite. I'm not a massive fan of Mega Dragonite, but I like this card and I like the price point. The curve on this gold Dragonite, we are declining. If you like that card, I can guarantee it's stunning in person. Pick this one up. These are your high ends that I suggest you pick up if you want them. Can't recommend anything else other than this one card. This one seems reasonable enough that it might bottom out to about 100 quid and you might sting for a bit, but rarity, beautiful card, desirable Pokemon. I can't look past that. Do you want to go cheap? There's Vikavolt. It's too cheap. It's a nice IR. The fact that Ascended Heroes is so expensive and you can pick up an IR for £2.20, just get it. Mischievous is a popular Pokemon, and this card has been slept on, again, around that 4 to 6 quid mark. Pick this up. Slurpuff. Look at how cute that card is. I will say this is going to be a statement of this channel. Don't sleep on the cute cards. They do well over time, and they just look great in a binder. Get that Slurpuff if you like it. Iono's Wattrel is another one. I always recommend, like the Lilies, the Iono's cards. They just are so bright, colourful. They pop. As an art collector, this is just my taste, and this has just gone down and down and down. Pick this one up for about £8.50 at the minute. This one is insane, actually. Before I even publish this video, I'm going on eBay and buying it in case some of you find this and people start raising the price. Score Bunny Illustration Rare is really cheap at the minute. It's about that £10 mark. Yeah, they're all about 10 quid. Those 4s and 3s, they're the wrong listing. Price Charted has picked them up wrong. But about 10 quid gets you this Score Bunny. It's a starter. It's an amazing looking card. Get your hands on this one if you like it. Do you want an SIR? This has technically got the same rarity as Gengar, and it's about 25 quid. You can even get it as low as 20. If you like that card, that's a good pickup. I would say the Dreepy Dracolock line is a good one to pick up as well, because if you've got the Priz Dragapult, it's a really nice art set, and some collectors really like getting connecting slabs. You might just like that as well if you've never seen the trio together. I'd recommend those. Pheasantipity is... I could see this dropping even a little bit more. It's about 55 quid at the minute. It's such a nice card. It's such a nice SIR, and it continues to drop. If you also want the Mega Dream equivalents to these, I would recommend, if you're just an art collector and you don't care about values, buy them in Japanese. They're even cheaper. And the texturing arguably is nicer. Pheasantipity is a really good pickup from an SIR line at the minute. And I will never not recommend a Lilith card. Lilith Clefairy, it's like the Rose's Determination in perfect order. There's a shine in the eyes of Lily. The texturing on the card is really, really nice. The scans don't do it justice. If you like your cute cards, this one's... It's the first SIR I pulled, actually, out of Ascended Heroes. It's fantastic. Get yourself this one. But if I had to tell you where to put your money right now, again, I'm not an investment advisor. I'm not a financial advisor. I would suggest just buying an ETB if you've not got one and keep it sealed on your shelf. Because there are so many hits over the price of that ETB that even though it's unlikely you'll hit an SIR in one, there's always that chance. And Sealed is seeing a new era of Pokemon at the minute. I've got a Pokemon Center one behind me on this shelf that's probably never getting opened. I've been a Sealed collector for a long time because I'm a massive nerd. But it's actually becoming the done thing now. So if I was to put my money into anything, and I have done, Ascended Heroes ETBs. But don't just buy a case and put it in a cupboard and then try and sell it for double your money or whatever in 6 months. Like, get it if you want it. Don't become the scalper to avoid the scalpers. That's a line I've had to really balance recently. So to summarize all of that, there is a chance that this falls out again. The bottom falls out of Pokemon. We have seen it so many times. If you've been in the hobby for as long as I have, you will have seen every generation there is a dip. We're seeing it with Perfect Order at the minute, that Perfect Order is crashing. However, that's not affecting Ascended, because Ascended is still the one that's everyone's chasing. You could take a risk. If you want prices to bottom out a little bit more than they have done now and last month, I think we've already missed it, if I'm being absolutely honest, friends, until potentially the 30th anniversary. People have massive FOMO. And when the 30th comes around, there's going to be so many people seeking that set that some people won't have enough funds to buy that set. So they will offload some of their Ascended Heroes. Scalpers that aren't as new to the market will also panic, and prices might drop a little bit. If you wish to take the risk, you could do that. We saw with Celebrations at the 25th that the year later, Celebrations cards were actually cheaper because the fear of missing out and the hype had died down slightly. We're in a completely different era for Pokemon. I can't comfortably say that that's going to happen now. So the only thing I could potentially say is when the 30th comes around, Ascended will still be dropping bits at shops. You might do all right then. But if any card I've showed you today is one that you like and you can afford it, save yourself some stress and just buy the card rather than spending thousands of pounds trying to pull it, friends. And Pokemon, seriously. Lottery systems, maybe? I don't know what you could do to improve it other than that at the minute. Oh, I do actually. Buyers, some people are going to hate this, but buyers that have bought from you every ETB or loads, they've got an order history going back years and years and years, maybe give them a little email to say that you can buy an ETB before it goes to general sale, just to like reward the people who've been a collector for a long time. That isolates new collectors a little bit, but we've got to draw a line somewhere, haven't we? Because a lot of new collectors, I feel for you new collectors generally, but a lot of new collectors literally stand in lines just to buy up product and sell to these new collectors and scalp them. Scalp prices. So we've got to find a line. But yes, this is a very small channel, less than 300 subs, and I like talking about everything Pokemon. I'm going to study the markets, going to do little short openings, we're going to play some games, we're going to do all of that, and I'm going to use my knowledge that I've picked up all these years about Pokemon to actually do some good and help you guys out now. So drop me a subscribe, a like on this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.